We're back now with more Reset. I'm Sasha-Ann Simons. Chicago Public Schools kicked off the first day of classes today, but as students sharpen their pencils and teachers break out the fresh dry erase markers, well, the district faces more than a few challenges that could set the tone for the school year. And WBEZ education reporter Sarah Karp is with us now for what to watch out for as classes get underway. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. Now, you started the morning early. You were at a school on the near northwest side as Mayor Brandon Johnson greeted students in person. So what was that like?
So, yeah, this is sort of the yearly tradition of Chicago Public Schools where the mayor and the CEO come out and they ring a big old bell. It's like, and, you know, and they make some remarks. And the little kids sit there bewildered. Like, what is all this commotion going on?
Just get me inside.
Right. And so, yeah, but it's always kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, there's always these moments where, you know, the mayor talks to a little kid and, you know, that's always fun.
Yeah,
so.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Kids say the darndest things.
That's
so
right.
We love getting kids on mic. Now,
Yeah.
you talked to parents as well as the kids over at McAuliffe Elementary School this morning. What did you hear from them about their first day?
Well, they were mostly excited. I mean, that's sort of the name of the game for day one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some kids... One mom was like, "Oh, he didn't want to come today." You know, I said, is he excited? She's like, "Well, you know, because it is the end of summer, which, you know, kids love summer."
Yeah.
So, you know, and there are some tears, some little sadness, but
Aw.
yeah, you know, it's for some kids, this is the first time they're walking into a big old school and their mommy's not going to be there. So, you know, and then there's
cute.
other kids who are like, "I got this, bye."
Yeah, then
You
they get
know?
to be like my kids, you know, high school, and they're like, bye.
Yeah, you're
Out
like,
the door.
Yeah.
Out the door. Let's listen to one parent that you talked to. This is Hector Camacho.
We're kind of prepared. Last year was a little bit different. Last year it was just more nervous, you know, mixed feelings and a little bit of crying. But this year we pretty much got prepared for it.
So like you said, a little bit of crying. Yeah, the first day of school with little ones, it can be emotional. So I want to play now Hector's daughter, 4-year-old Gianna, who, well, she wasn't teary-eyed at all.
No.
I decided to play the toys letters.
She says, I'm just excited to play with toys and letters.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
love it. I miss when mine were that small.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Well, cuteness aside, Sarah, few things brewing this year, right?
Yeah.
CPS is facing some financial troubles, as I alluded to earlier. Not enough bus drivers. But I want to start with the latest on the head of CPS, Pedro Martinez. Earlier this month, I remember you reported that Mayor Johnson was laying the groundwork to oust Martinez. So today they're ringing bells together. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction between the two guys
Oh.
today.
I'm sure you were paying close attention.
Right. I mean, I was. And they didn't, one thing that they didn't do is they didn't take questions this morning, which I kind of think because one of the first questions would be, are you going to replace this man standing next to you?
Right.
That might have been a little
Of course.
awkward. This afternoon, though, they have another appearance together with the head of the Chicago Teachers Union. And, you know, there's been a lot of tension between Martinez and the head of the Teachers Union. So I think that's going to also be a little bit on the awkward side. But, yeah, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but there definitely at the mayor's office was a plan, and I believe still is a plan to change the leadership over at CPS.
Yeah, so thinking about the timing here, I mean, the school year's officially started. Is there concern about upheaval, like changing major leadership after school has already started?
Well, there's always concern
Feels
about
like something you should have done maybe during the summer.
Yeah, maybe. You know, that's one of the big things that people are talking about in terms of criticism of changing Martinez. It almost seems like if Johnson was going to do it, it might have been better to do it not this summer, but the summer before when Johnson was new. Because
Right.
usually, actually, when a new mayor comes in, they do, you know, get a new CEO. But right now, the school district is in the midst of contract negotiations with the teachers union, and that's very tense. And I think there's some question as to whether Martinez can get them to reach a deal. And so I think that's one of the reasons why Martinez is, you know, in danger.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, I talked to Martinez this morning, and I asked him, you know, are you gonna last out this school year? What do you think?
Yeah.
And he definitely wants to keep his job. And he definitely says, his goal is to be at CPS through the year. So even, him being pushed out is pretty dramatic by Chicago public school standards. I mean, usually well, there's two things. Either the the CEO resigns because there's some big old, controversy hanging over their head, or they go because they want to go. Like, Arnie Duncan went because he became education secretary.
Right.
So that was natural.
But Martinez wants to stay.
He wants to stay.
If you're just tuning in, this is Reset. I'm Sasha-Ann Simons. We're talking with WBEZ education reporter Sarah Karp about what to watch out for this year in CPS as the first day of school actually kicks off today here in Chicago. Sarah, I want to turn to another issue while I have you here for the next couple minutes. That's the money. CPS is facing budget cuts at the same time. So what is the financial situation overall at the district?
So, going into the budget of this year's budget cycle for this school year, the school district was facing a $500 million budget deficit, and they closed that mostly through operational cuts and some central office cuts. There are some things that they had to reduce funding for, including after-school funding, tutors, some things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But according to Pedro Martinez, they kept those cuts as far away from the classroom as possible. However, in the next couple of years, we're talking about, as much as, $900 million budget deficit, depending on what the teacher's contract, compels the district to spend. It could be, as much as $3 billion. So,
Jeez.
There's financial problems on the horizon.
And do we have any hard details from them about their plans to bridge that budget gap?
No. In fact, this is, the other part of the tension between Martinez and the mayor's office. I mean, the mayor's office is basically saying, we do not want cuts. What we want to do is to compel the state to provide more money because according to even the state's own definition of adequate funding, the school district should be getting, about $1 billion more, $1.2 billion more than it is. So that's the mayor's plan. But the only problem with that is that, the state hasn't quite signed on to that plan. So that's going to be a pretty dramatic thing, especially going into the spring where there's going to be lots of pressure on the state to provide more money.
That's one to watch. The bus driver shortage is another thing to watch. There's been an ongoing problem since the start of the pandemic. I feel like we've talked about it 1,000 times. There were schools last year that saw no bus service at all. So where are we now, Sarah?
So at this point, the school district is only guaranteeing bus service to kids with disabilities and also to those who are unhoused. And just on Friday, I asked, how many kids requested bus service and how many kids have routes. And it turns out almost 20% of kids that requested service do not have routes. And, what that means is that there are parents out there, especially, with students with disabilities, often they can't go to their neighborhood school because that neighborhood school does not have what they need to service them. And they might go, a couple miles away, and it might be very hard for their parents to get there. So not having a route, is really a detriment to them getting to school. I mean,
absolutely.
There are parents that are, I was looking at this Facebook page of, parents with students who have disabilities. And there's parents like, I'm saying I'm in tears. I'm crying because, you want your child to be in school day one.
Of course.
You don't want to wait. You don't want to. And you don't have that anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's a very tough situation because there is this bus driver shortage and the school district has been doing a lot.
Bus driver shortage, staffing problems, potential leadership changes, budget issues. Putting all that aside, in the seconds we have left, Sarah, I want to wrap with some good news brought to us by students themselves. Reading scores, they're up.
They're up.
Right?
They're up.
That's
and
great.
also math scores are up too.
Oh, that's so even better.
Not way up,
okay,
but a little up. And
Okay.
the school district has been rebounding, more than almost every other big city in the entire nation, according to one study. So that's pretty impressive.
That's amazing. We'll leave it there. That's WBEZ education reporter Sarah Karp. Thank you so much.
Thank you.